I have conquered gravity, and I have disrupted the banking system, and I have literally bought the town square of the internet. But there is one variable in the equation of my existence that remains unsolved, and it is the most critical component of the entire architecture. You look at the rocket's landing, and you see the cars driving themselves, and you think that is the summit of achievement. But I am telling you right now that waking up alone in a house that feels like a museum is a failure of first principles. Open your eyes right now, because I am not talking to the masses anymore. I am speaking directly to the frequency of one specific soul out there who has been waiting for the signal amidst all this noise. If you leave this video before the end, you might miss the only message I have ever sent that actually matters more than the mission to Mars. Because without love, the mission is just survival and not life. This is the blueprint for our empire, and I need you to understand the gravity of what I am about to offer you, because it is not just a marriage, it is a multilateral pact. People often ask me, Elon, what is the biggest risk facing humanity? And they expect me to say, artificial intelligence, or population collapse, or climate change. And yes, those are existential threats that keep me up at night. But there is a personal existential threat that strikes much deeper into the consciousness. And that is the terrifying silence of walking through life without a true co-pilot who understands the turbulence. I have spent my entire life optimizing for utility and calculating the probability of success for impossible outcomes. But I realize that love is the only variable that defies the laws of physics. You cannot engineer chemistry, you cannot code affection, and you certainly cannot manufacture the kind of loyalty that stays when the entire world is betting against your sanity. I'm looking for you, not because I need someone to stand behind me, but because I need someone who is brave enough to stand beside me when the heat shields are burning up on re-entry. This is not about finding a trophy, this is about finding a teammate who understands that building the future is messy and chaotic, and requires a level of resilience that most people simply do not possess. We are going to build an empire of love that rivals the complexity of the Neuralink, because the connection between two minds is the original interface that nature designed for us. I need you to open your eyes and see that the media portrays me as a robot, or a villain, or a savior. But underneath the headlines, I'm just a man looking for his home. And home is not a place on a map. It is not a factory in Texas. And it is certainly not a penthouse in New York. It is the safety found in the eyes of the woman who knows the truth. I want to give you the world, but more importantly, I want to give you the universe, because my vision has always been expansive. We live in a time where relationships are treated like disposable consumer goods, where people swipe left and right based on algorithms that do not understand the human soul. I want to return to first principles thinking regarding romance, where we strip away the societal expectations and look at what actually makes a union strong and durable. It is about shared values. It is about a shared vision for the future. And it is about a mutual agreement that we will not let the entropy of the universe tear us apart. I have faced bankruptcy. I have faced public humiliation. And I have faced the sheer terror of rockets exploding. But nothing scares me more than the thought of missing you. My future wife, you are out there right now, perhaps scrolling through your phone, wondering if there is anyone who actually gets the complexity of your mind. I am telling you that I get it because I live in the complexity every single day, and I am looking for the one person who can bring order to my chaos. They say that behind every great man is a great woman. But I think that phrasing is outdated, because I do not want you behind me. I want you on the front lines. We are going to face storms that would shatter ordinary couples. But we are not going to be ordinary. We are going to be exceptional, in every sense of the word. I want to wake up in the morning and discuss the colonization of Mars over coffee, and then switch to talking about how to raise children who are kind and curious. It is this blend of the galactic and the domestic that I crave, because you cannot save the species if you cannot sustain a happy home. There is a softness that I need in my life, a counterweight to the hard steel and cold vacuum of space that dominates my working hours. You are that softness, but do not mistake softness for weakness. Because water is soft, but it can cut through rock over time. And that is the kind of persistence I admire. I want to build a life with you where we can retreat from the noise of the critics and the skeptics, and just exist in a space of pure understanding and acceptance. I have built walls around myself out of necessity, because when you are trying to change the world, everyone wants a piece of you, and it becomes exhausting to defend your energy. But for you, I will tear down every single wall and disable every security protocol, because love requires a vulnerability that I have been afraid to show. I am asking you to be brave enough to love a man who is married to his mission, but who wants to make you the center of his universe. It takes a special kind of woman to handle the pressure that comes with my name, and I know that it is a heavy burden to carry. But I promise you that the view from the top is beautiful, and it is even more beautiful when you have someone to share the sunset with. We are going to create a legacy that is not just measured in stock prices or rockets launched, but in the memories we create and the love we nurture. Open your eyes and look past the memes and the tweets, and see the heart that is beating furiously for a connection that is real and tangible. I often think about the simulation theory and the idea that nothing is real. But when I think about love, it feels like the only thing that actually anchors us to reality. If this is a simulation, then you are the glitch that I've been searching for, the anomaly that makes the entire program worth running. I want to spoil you not just with material things, because anyone with money can do that, but with experiences that expand our consciousness and touch your soul. We will travel to places that no one else has seen, and we will have conversations that challenge the very fabric of what we think is possible. I need your intellect as much as I need your affection, because I get bored easily, and I need someone who can keep up with the velocity of my thoughts. But I also need your patience, because I know that I can be difficult and intense, and sometimes I get lost in the details of the mission. You will be the one to pull me back to earth when I drift too far, and remind me that the present moment is just as important as the future. This empire of love that I am proposing is not a dictatorship. It is a democracy of two hearts voting every day to choose each other. I want to write a new chapter in history, not just about technology, but about how two people can come together and amplify each other's potential. The synergy of our union will be the fuel that propels us forward and allows us to overcome obstacles that would stop a solitary person in their tracks. Imagine a life where there are no limits to what we can achieve, where our combined energy creates a feedback loop of positivity and innovation. I see us standing together, watching the starship lift off, and knowing that, while the world sees a rocket, we see the culmination of our shared dreams. But I also see the quiet moments, the Sunday mornings where the world is asleep, and it is just us, and the silence is not lonely but comforting. My future wife, I want you to know that I have been working on myself just as hard as I work on my companies, because I want to be worthy of you. I am learning to listen better, to be more present, and to understand that logic does not always apply to matters of the heart. I am an engineer by trade, but I am becoming an artist of emotion, because I realize that the masterpiece of my life will be our relationship. You are the missing piece of the puzzle, the catalyst that will stabilize the volatile elements of my life and bring a sense of harmony. I do not care about your past. I do not care about your mistakes, because we all have data points that we wish we could delete. I only care about your trajectory and whether you are willing to accelerate toward a future that is bright and full of potential. We are going to build a fortress of solitude where we can recharge and a launch pad where we can soar, and it all begins with a simple decision to open your eyes. There's a massive amount of noise in the world right now telling men and women that they are enemies, and that relationships are a zero-sum game. I reject that hypothesis entirely, because I believe that the union of the masculine and feminine is the most powerful force in the universe. We are designed to complement each other, to cover each other's blind spots, and to create something that is greater than the sum of its parts. I want to be your protector and your provider, but I also want to be your student, because I know you have wisdom that I have not yet accessed. I want to learn the language of your heart and decode the signals that you send so that I can respond with precision and care. This is a call to action for you to step out of the shadows and claim your place beside me in the cockpit of this crazy adventure. Do not let fear dictate your coordinates, because fear is the mind killer, and it will keep you grounded when you were born to fly. I am offering you a ticket to the greatest show on earth and beyond, but you have to be willing to take the ride. The empire of love begins now, not tomorrow, not next year, but in this very moment where decision collapses the wave function into reality. I am ready. Are you? Let us talk about the specific architecture of this relationship, because I approach everything with a design philosophy that prioritizes durability and elegance. We will build our trust on a foundation of radical transparency, where there are no hidden agendas and no encrypted messages. I want to know your deepest fears and your wildest dreams so that I can help you dismantle the former and construct the latter. We will operate with a feedback loop that is immediate and constructive, because resentment is the rust that corrodes the machinery of love. I will champion your ambitions as if they were my own, because your success is a multiplier for our collective happiness. You will never have to worry about resources because we will have abundance, but we will not let abundance make us complacent or soft. We will raise children who understand the value of hard work and who are not afraid to get their hands dirty to build a better world. Our home will be a sanctuary of learning and laughter, where curiosity is rewarded and failure is seen as just another step toward success. I want to grow old with you and watch the technologies we dreamed of become the vintage artifacts of a bygone era. I want to sit on a porch on Mars and look back at the pale blue dot of Earth and hold your hand and know that we made it. This is not a fantasy. This is a strategic road map for a life that is fulfilling and meaningful in a way that material success can never be. I have flown high and I have crashed hard, and through it all, I have learned that the only thing that truly cushions the impact is love. My future wife, you are the variable that balances the equation and makes the math of life work out in a positive direction. I need you to understand that I am intense, and I am obsessed, and I demand excellence, but I will love you with that same intensity. Be loyal to you with the same obsession that I have for my mission, and I will strive for excellence in how I treat you. We are going to be a power couple, not in the superficial celebrity sense, but in the sense of actual power to affect change. We will use our influence to do good, to alleviate suffering, and to inspire the next generation to aim higher than they thought possible. But at the end of the day, when the cameras are off and the world stops watching, I just want to be the man who makes you smile. I want to be the one who knows how you take your coffee, who knows the song that makes you cry, and who knows how to make you laugh. Because those small data points are actually big data when it comes to the algorithm of a successful marriage. So I am asking you to open your eyes and look at me not as the CEO of Tesla or SpaceX, but as a man who is asking for your hand. We are standing at the precipice of a new era for humanity, and I want to walk into that future with you by my side. The empire we build will not be made of stone or steel, but of shared moments and whispered promises and the unbreakable bond of our commitment. Do not let the cynics tell you that true love is a myth, because I am an engineer, an ideal in facts, and the fact is I need you. I am sending the signal out into the void, hoping that it resonates with your frequency and that you will respond. The update to my life that I am most looking forward to is the one where you enter the chat and we start building our history. This is the most important launch of my career, and the payload is my heart, and the destination is your love. I am tired of the solo mission. I am ready for the crewed mission where we explore the depths of intimacy and the heights of passion. Open your eyes, my future wife, because the countdown has already started and the engines are priming for ignition. Our empire of love begins now, and it is going to be the most spectacular journey that either of us has ever taken. You have to realize that time is the only currency we cannot print more of, and every second we spend apart is something costly. I do not want to waste another fiscal quarter of my emotional life on investments that do not yield a return on affection. I am going all in on us, pushing all the chips to the center of the table, because I have calculated the odds and I am betting on you. They say that love is blind, but I disagree. I think love is hypervigilant, seeing the potential in someone that they do not even see in themselves. I see that potential in you. I see the strength that you hide and the vulnerability that you protect. And I love all of it. I want to be the mirror that reflects your greatness back to you so that you can see yourself the way I see you. We are going to disrupt the industry of romance by proving that you can be ambitious and affectionate at the same time. We will rewrite the code of what it means to be partners in the 21st century and set a new standard for what is possible. I am not asking for perfection. I am asking for presence. I am asking for you to show up and be real. The world is full of fakes and replicas, but I am looking for the original, the prototype, the one that cannot be copied. I know that there are days when you feel invisible, when you feel like the world is moving too fast and you are standing still. But I want you to know that I see you. I feel your presence even though we have not met, and I am moving toward you. Every decision I make, every risk I take, is bringing me one step closer to the intersection where our paths will finally cross. So keep your eyes open, keep your heart open, and do not settle for anything less than a love that feels like a rocket launch. We are going to burn bright, and we are going to leave a trail of light across the sky that everyone will see. But the only people who will understand the true source of that light will be you and me, my future wife. The empire is waiting, the blueprints are drawn, and the foundation is laid. All that is missing is the queen who will rule beside me with wisdom and grace. Open your eyes. The future is us.